Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning into another episode of The Wonder Kid Show. Today's first topic, PFF comes out with their top 50 players in the NFL. And look, you know why we're covering it, because from a Raven fan's perspective, even though I covered multiple sports, I'm covering for where they put Lamar. Now here's the thing. They rated him 41 out of 50, but the fifth highest QB. Now, I'm going to read to you what they put, because the way that they put it, if you're not a fan, I can understand. I'm just happy that they at least kept him in the top 5 of the QB list, okay? So, without further ado, I'm going to read this to you and I'm going to break it down, okay? So, number 41, QB, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens. Injuries in each of his last 2 seasons keep him this low on the list. They address it immediately. I can't hate that. I can't hate it. I cannot hate it. They're like, look, he had back-to-back injured seasons. He would be higher, but the injuries keep him lower. You know what I mean? I can respect that. I can actually respect that. But I shall continue. But a healthy Lamar is still one of the league's most dominant weapons. He was in the middle of his best graded season since his unanimous MVP year, when injury took him down last season. And now we get to see what he can achieve in the offense that will be more prepared to let him spread the ball around in the passing game. Look, I'm happy. And look, I know, because I already told y'all, I have Lamar number 2 on my QB list, only behind Mahomes. And I already gave the reason why. It's because of what he's achieved without the surrounding help that his contemporaries have in abundance. Everyone's going to say, well, Josh Allen only has Diggs. Every other QB has a plethora of help. On the outside, inside, running backs, whatever you want to call it, they have a plethora of weapons. The offense for the Ravens has been Lamar. Injuries has made sure that J.K. Dobbins and Gus have been limited or absent completely. Same thing with Bateman. You can say the same thing about Duvernay. And you could even say that partly to Hollywood Brown, because he came into the league hurt. And then he got traded because of his lack of usage to him in the offense. Even though I'll disagree with his usage, but I guess the way he was being used. So, you know, I get why if you're not a fan, you would have him there. But I'm actually happy that they showed Lamar more respect this time around and clarified their stance. The writer that wrote this, salute to you. Because you have to be realistic about it. You know what I mean? We're going to look at it, as much as I try to come at things from an unbiased standpoint, I'm still going to be somewhat biased towards Lamar and the Ravens. They're my favorite team, and he's my favorite player. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's not hard to look at what we're doing here. You know what I mean? But I like that they respected what he's contributed so far and what he's been in the league while on the field. And while on the field and in this league, Lamar Jackson has been probably the most dominant player, only second to Mahomes. And Mahomes is an outlier simply because Mahomes is a super talented QB that was dropped in the best position possible. He came in, and I always say this, like, people have to understand that Andy Reid has always coached, no matter who's been his quarterback, no matter who's been his receivers, no matter who's been his tight ends, no matter who's been his wide receivers or whatever else it is like that, he's always had top offenses in the league. And I'm not talking about like top 10. I'm talking about top 5. The kicker, why Andy Reid started winning also is because you've teamed up one of the great, like Mahomes going to go down as top 10 QBs of all time. So what Andy Reid has been doing with the lesser talent, now he has a top 10 QB of all time, and he has a top two tight end of all time, who was technically a wide receiver, and he had Tyreek Hill for the first 5 years of his career, also, who is probably top 2 deep threats the league has ever seen. So you see where I'm coming from? So he was dropped in literally the best position you could be dropped in as a quarterback. And the offensive line was beautiful. Spectacular! You know, it's Patrick and spectacular. Patacular! Don't you love my vernacular? We're rhyming. But that's what it's been. So that's the only player I put over him. All these other guys have had weapons coming out. Justin Herbert has had weapons galore since he's came into this league, and he hasn't had half the success as Lamar has had. He hasn't been MVP. He hasn't led the league in passing touchdowns. What's his winning percentage? How many times has he made it to the playoffs? And I don't want to hear, oh, well, Lamar's 1-3 in the playoffs. Your man has been in the league now going on his 4th year. He's only been in the playoffs once, and in his first thing gave up a 27-point lead. You ain't getting no sympathy from me. But like I said before, I can respect that at least they put him in the top 5. Because to be realistic with you, he is the best QB/weapon in the entire NFL. That's why so much players say he's probably the most dangerous player with the ball in his hands outside of Tyreek Hill in the NFL. The only other player I can think about with the ball in their hands who's more dangerous than Lamar Jackson is Tyreek Hill, and that's it. That's also the reason why I put Tyreek Hill so high up on my wide receiver list. And people be like, oh, no, I'll pick 3 wide receivers over Tyreek Hill. That's because you have no common sense. and that's also where if you were a general manager, you'd probably lose. But shout outs to PFF for showing Lamar and the Ravens some due respect. I know everyone's going to say 41's a little low. It's the top 50, and I know. But out of the quarterbacks, he's 5. He's 5th. I can live with that. And they clarified why. And the reason they gave is a substantial reason why. Injuries. I mean, the best ability is availability. And I don't blame any of the injuries on Lamar. I blame it on the offensive line. Like they've done. Like the center when they oversnapped it and got him knocked out of the Bills game. Or when they missed the block on the left side and he got hurt the year prior. And then this year, right side, total whiff the block, hits Lamar, drives him to the ground, boom, knee. You know what I mean? So I don't this whole thing when it comes to his injury, I look at it with more context. But at least this time, so are they. You get where I'm coming from? Lamar Jackson, hurt or not hurt, is a top 50 player in the league. Easily. Heck, you can put him in top 10. He's that dynamic. He's that important. He's that unique. I will say this, and a lot of people are going to say Mike Vick, Cam Newton. No. There has never been a player at this size. He's 6'3". I see them face to face. Lamar is legit 6'3". 6'3", runs a 4.3, and has wiggles like Barry Sanders. That it's just like Michael Vick is a smaller dude. Michael Vick's like 5'11". He's a little, like Michael Vick has got like what, an inch on me, like an inch and a half on me. That's it. Michael Vick is a smaller guy. He's not even 6 foot. And for anybody being like, that's enough dialogue, I play ball. So anybody under 6'3" was considered short. And I'm 5'10". You feel me? I'm 5'10" without the fro. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, and I look at these guys, I'm like, man, you know what I mean? Like, darn. So, you know, it is what it is. Shout outs to PFF for at least doing a decent one this year. And I know some Raven fans are going to disagree with me and say, no, he should be higher. Think about it. Last time they left him off of it completely. This time, putting him in the top 50 and also explaining why and then also putting on the graphic that he's the 5th highest rated quarterback on their list. That means out of the top 50, I think there's 6 or 7 quarterbacks maybe, and he's 5th. You know what I mean? I can't hate on that. So, shout outs to them for actually doing a decent list this time, and shout outs to Lamar, because I think by the end of this year, he is firmly going to put himself in conversation with Mahomes. And he would be the only player that could do so. Because if Lamar wins MVP this year and wins the title, he would only be 1 Super Bowl and 1 Super Bowl MVP away from Mahomes. They would both be 2-time MVPs. No one else has achieved it outside of Aaron Rodgers. See, a lot of people don't like to say, they're going, oh, it was 1 year. Well, if he wins it twice, what are you going to say? You're not going to be able to take anything away, right? Exactly. And that's what's going to happen this year. But that's another episode of the Wonder Kid Show. Thank you for watching. You know how we get down. We have fun and we laugh. But everything we talk about is rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. You know I love the comments. Just be respectful, please. And then if you would like to donate, bottom of the screen is a QR code. You can find the Cash App in the description of every video that we do. Name of it, money sign, The Wonderkin Show. And last but not least, do not overlook the Wonderkin Patreon. I'm telling y'all, it's amazing. There's so much different stuff on each level that's available now on the tiers. Go get it. It's so worth it. And I'm telling you, during the regular season, a lot of people is going to try to be getting into it as fast as possible. It's going to be going out like hotcakes, like grandmother's buttermilk biscuits. And you know this. But that's another episode of The Wonderkin Show. The show's actually signing off. And as always, you guys know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yerp. Hi, hi, hi.